Everyone wants to be rich, but almost no one talks about the one currency more valuable than money: time. And if you don't learn how to protect it, you'll lose it every single day, in small, invisible ways. This is where most people fail, not because they lack talent or ambition, but because they spend their lives busy instead of effective. Millionaires don't just manage money, they master minutes. Their calendars are built with precision, their routines are weapons, and every choice they make is filtered through a simple question: does this move me forward or waste my life? Before we go any further, if you've been feeling like time is slipping through your fingers, if you're tired of rushing but never arriving, then this is your wake-up call. Subscribe to this channel right now, leave a like to support this mission, and drop a comment below telling me the one thing that steals your time the most. And most importantly, click the link in the pinned comment. Inside, there's something powerful waiting for you. A system designed to give you control back over your mind, your habits, your energy, your time. Over 100,000 people have already transformed their lives through this. And now it's your turn. The truth is, rich people don't have more hours in a day. They just treat time like it matters. They don't wake up and see where the day goes. They wake up already knowing what must be done. Their mornings aren't chaotic or reactive, they're deliberate. They start with intention, not distraction. They don't check their phones first thing, they check in with their priorities. They don't scroll through feeds, they execute on what matters. What most people don't realize is that every decision you make in the first hour of your day sets the tone for everything that follows. The wealthy know this. That's why their routines are non-negotiable. It's not about motivation or being in the mood. It's about structure. Structure creates freedom. When you remove the need to decide every little thing, you create space to focus on the big things. And that's how millionaires think. They automate the predictable so they can focus on the powerful. Their phones aren't controlling them. They've removed unnecessary apps, silenced unimportant notifications, and built digital environments that support not sabotage their goals. Because they understand this simple rule: anything that steals your focus is stealing your future. So they don't let the world scream for their attention. They decide where their attention goes. And that single habit, practiced consistently, separates the overwhelmed from the unstoppable. Even how they manage meetings is different. Most people go into a meeting and try to figure things out as they go. The wealthy go in with clarity. They know the objective, they know what matters, and they cut the fluff. Their time is too expensive to waste in vague conversations or pointless check-ins. They protect it ruthlessly, not because they're arrogant, but because they understand. Leverage. One wasted hour can cost thousands, sometimes millions, when compounded over years. But it doesn't stop with work. Millionaires apply time discipline to every area of life. They schedule downtime. They protect their energy. They don't say yes to every invite or request. In fact, one of the most powerful things they do is say no. Not because they don't care, but because they do. They care deeply about the things that matter most. And that means having the courage to ignore what DOES and single quotes to want to know what really makes them different. It's not that they have more hours. It's that they use each one with intention. They know time is the only resource they'll never get back, so they don't waste it arguing online, binging distractions, or waiting for motivation. They act, they execute, they refine, and that's what keeps them ahead. Asterisk asterisk, while the rest of the world is waking up and trying to decide what to do first, the wealthy have already made their moves. Their calendars aren't packed with meaningless commitments or obligations made out of guilt. Every meeting, every call, every moment is filtered through the lens of value. If it doesn't move the needle, it doesn't make it on the calendar. And if it makes it, it gets full focus. Millionaires don't try to multitask while in an important meeting. They don't check email while spending time with family. They protect their attention like it's a limited currency, because it is. What they've mastered is the rare ability to be fully present in one thing at a time, knowing that undivided attention produces results faster and more effectively than half-baked multitasking ever could. And that's the part nobody talks about. Time isn't just about what's on your schedule. It's about how much of your mind is actually invested in what you're doing. Most people are physically in one place and mentally scattered across 5. The wealthy learn to be where they are. They don't waste time in imaginary arguments or replaying regrets from last week. They're focused, and that focus buys them even more time in the long run. But it goes deeper. The way millionaires think about rest is just as strategic. Rest is not an escape from work. It's a part of performance. The wealthy don't burn themselves into the ground for the sake of productivity. They rest hard so they can work harder. They schedule recovery. They prioritize sleep, not because it's luxurious, but because they know how much it costs to be tired. They're not bragging about running on 4 hours of sleep. They're optimizing for clarity, creativity, and decision-making power. Because every moment they waste recovering from poor habits is a moment they lose in capitalizing on their vision. One of the most underrated time hacks of the wealthy is the art of saying no. Not just occasionally, constantly. They say no to things that seem good on the surface, but don't align with their mission. They say no to overcommitment, no to pointless social obligations, no to toxic people who drain energy. Every no is a yes to something more important, and in that discipline of refusal lies the real freedom. Because the more you say no to what doesn't matter, the more time you have for what does. They also understand the value of delegation, not just in business, but in life. They don't insist on doing everything themselves just to prove a point. They outsource, they automate, they build systems, not because they're lazy, but because they're clear on what their time is worth. They spend time where it produces the most leverage, and they remove themselves from the parts of life that don't. That might mean hiring someone to clean their house, using tech to manage their schedule, or building a team that runs without them. The goal is not to be busy. The goal is to be free. So what's the takeaway? If you want to think and operate like the wealthy, stop glorifying busyness and start studying precision. Time management isn't about cramming more in. It's about cutting the unnecessary, focusing deeply, and aligning your days with your values. It's about living intentionally, not reactively. Because when you live with intention, every hour becomes a tool. Every decision becomes a vote for your future. Every moment becomes a chance to build the life you actually want. If this message opened your eyes, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and leave a comment below sharing how you're going to start using your time differently. And most importantly, check the link in the pinned comment. There's a life-changing opportunity waiting for you, one that can help you build the habits, discipline, and mindset you need to create your own version of time freedom. Don't miss it. The clock is ticking.